For centuries, we've had this one story about menopause. You know the one. It's all about the ovaries, the end of fertility. But what if I told you that's only half the story? Groundbreaking new science is revealing the other half, and honestly, it changes everything. So let's just ask this question right up front. What if this massive life transition is actually at its core a neurological event? What if it's about a fundamental rewiring of the female brain? It's a huge idea, and it reframes this entire experience. And look, this isn't just a theory. It's something we can literally see. For the first time ever, we have these incredible brain scans. On the left, you've got a premenopausal brain, just buzzing with energy, all lit up in red and yellow. And on the right, that's the same brain, post-menopause. The lights, you could say, have dimmed. And to put a number on that, we're talking about an average drop of 30% in the brain's energy levels. Just think about that for a second. This isn't some minor little adjustment. It's a full-blown energy crisis happening inside the brain. So here's the big takeaway. All those classic symptoms, hot flashes, that frustrating brain fog, the insomnia, they aren't just some vague hormonal issue. They are neurological symptoms with a real physical origin in these brain changes. Okay, so the next logical question is why? Why does this dramatic change happen in the first place? Well, to get to the bottom of this energy crisis, we have to meet the master regulator of the female brain. And that is estrogen. Now, for decades, we kind of put estrogen in a box, right? We labeled it as sex hormone. But it turns out its role in the brain is absolutely critical. It's basically the key that turns on the lights and unlocks energy. I absolutely love this analogy from Dr. Lisa Mosconi, the neuroscientist who's really pioneering this research. It's just so simple and powerful. Estrogen is the high-octane fuel that the female brain is designed to run on. And when you've got a steady supply of that fuel, your brain isn't just getting by, it's thriving. It's busy sprouting new connections, it's getting great blood flow, and it's running at peak performance. It's even better protected from damage. So as that fuel supply starts to drop off during menopause, the brain has a problem. It doesn't just shut down. It kicks off what Dr. Mosconi calls a renovation project. It's scrambling, rewiring itself, trying to adapt to this new low-energy reality. Okay, so let's zoom in and look at the actual timeline of how this whole thing unfolds, because understanding the stages is really the key to navigating it. You can think of it like a three-act play. Act 1 is pre-menopause. That's kind of the status quo. Act 2 is perimenopause, which kicks in on average around age 47. This is the really turbulent transition. This is when that renovation project is in full swing. And then Act 3 is post-menopause, which is the new normal that lasts for the rest of a woman's life. And during that really active transition phase, brain fog becomes incredibly common. But what's really wild here is the number. 62% of women report this symptom, that feeling that your brain has just been hijacked by fog. That's not a niche issue. That is the majority experience. Okay, so the science is clear, and it might sound a little intense, but this is actually the most important and hopeful part of this story. What can we actually do about it? Let's get into the toolkit for protecting your brain. It really boils down to 4 key pillars. First, diet, giving the brain the right building blocks. Second, exercise, which helps with everything from mood to metabolism. Third, sleep. That's when the brain does its essential cleaning and repair work. And fourth, having a conversation about modern hormone therapy with an expert. And with exercise, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Getting your heart rate up with cardio has been shown to be really effective for neurological symptoms like hot flashes and brain fog. Strength training is huge for your metabolism and mood. And things like yoga and Pilates can be a game changer for stress and sleep. Now, we have to talk about hormone therapy because it has such a tortured history. There was this one flawed study back in 2002 that just terrified millions of people. But modern HRT is a totally different world. We're talking about lower, safer doses, tailored options like patches, and bioidentical hormones that your body recognizes. But here's the absolute key: timing. To really support the brain, you can't try to put fuel back in the car after the engine has seized up, right? Hormone therapy is most effective and safest when it's started in what's called the critical window, during perimenopause or in the first few years after. So what happens when you get to the other side of this whole renovation? The data might surprise you. It suggests it's not an ending at all, but actually a new and often really powerful beginning.
Take a look at this. It's called the U curve of happiness. You see that dip in life satisfaction during the menopause transition? That makes total sense. It's a tough time. But look what happens afterwards. For many women, happiness doesn't just recover. It rises to the highest point it's ever been.
And there might even be this beautiful evolutionary reason for that. It's called the grandmother hypothesis. It basically suggests that women live long past fertility on purpose. It's not a bug, it's a feature. It allows them to step into this new vital role of contributing wisdom and ensuring the success of the next generation. But, when you boil it all down, maybe the most important thing this new science offers is just validation. For every woman who felt like her brain was changing, who was told it was just her hormones or that it was all in her head, this research is a resounding statement. You were right. Your experience is real, and it is neurological. And that leaves us with one final crucial question to think about. Now that we know menopause is a brain transition, how does that change the conversation? How can we all use this knowledge to better support ourselves and all the women in our lives for a healthier, more vibrant future?